Okay, we want to construct a parallelogram. Let's label our points right here. A, B, C. So if I want to construct a parallelogram, I already have one side of my parallelogram. I'm going to use side AB as a side. And I'm going to use side BC as a side in my parallelogram. So I can visualize what's going to occur. When I'm done, I want to have a segment out here that's perfectly parallel to AB, and I want to have a segment up here that's perfectly parallel to BC. Now, I need to make sure that they are accurate, though. So to do that, I operate off the fact that if lines are parallel, if there's going to be a line coming up from C that's parallel to segment AB, then the angle here must match the angle at B. So I really got to create the angle that is at B. Let me get a pen. The angle that is right here, I want to move that to be right here at C. And then I'll have a line that is parallel. So to construct a parallelogram, what we're really doing is copying an angle. And hopefully you remember how to do that. If not, there's a video on creating an angle. Copying an angle, I mean. But I am going to go through the steps again right here. So if I'm going to copy my angle, B, and move it to vertex C, then I need to extend this segment here. Just a hair. Ooh, not what I wanted to do. Need to extend this segment. Okay. Then I'm going to go put my anchor point at B, right there in the center. I'm going to stretch my compass to whatever width I want it to be. And I'm going to make an arc at angle B. And that is going to create two intersection points for me. There's a point here and a point here. And if I will keep my compass at the same width that I did right there, remember I drew it from B. So if I'll bring that same compass width over here to C and draw that arc, I don't have both of those points, but I do have one of those points. The point that is right here next to vertex B, I just found that same point right here next to vertex C. Okay? So I have gotten that point. If I can find this point that is above B, then I can figure out exactly where my line from C needs to go that will be parallel to AB. So to do that, I need to measure the space between these points that I created. So I'm going to measure them with my compass width. And this is the actual step where I begin to copy the angle, because the angle is defined to be the space in between those line segments. And if you see what my compass is measuring right now, it's measuring that space that the angle is defined to be. What would benefit me here is if I put my anchor point at the point that I've recreated. Remember that this point B, I have recreated at C right here. That's why I chose to put my anchor point there. And I'm measuring the width between those 2 points so that I'll move my compass over here to the point that coincides with the other point that I just had it at, and see where those 2 arcs cross. That creates an intersection point for me. That if I will take my ruler, my straight edge, and join the intersection point of those 2 arcs to point C, I will have copied the angle and therefore created a parallel line. All right, now it's pretty easy to make a parallelogram. I operate off the fact that a parallelogram, now that I have a parallel line, life's pretty simple, like I said. I operate off the fact that a parallelogram has sides that are congruent. So I will measure this distance here. I'll measure the length of AB. I want that same length from point C. And I just found another vertex to my parallelogram. We'll call it D. It's the intersection of that arc with those two sides. And if I'll take my ruler, my straight edge, and connect point A to point D, I have made myself a parallelogram. There is parallelogram A, B, C, D.